Good evening, Zoom. Turning on Facebook. Ooh, good evening, Facebook. Welcome back to H2O Mondays. I took last Monday off for the holiday, President's Day. There's presidents on our money, and I said it was all about the Benjamin's Day, so I decided to take the day off as Happy Academy is learning new strategies to be able to provide services for you. So with that said, let's start with Mother Teresa's recipe for peace. And anybody that want to join Zoom, the link is out there. My uh, Facebook, if you are out there, yeah, and I don't see anybody joining yet. So if you want to join on Zoom, please go to the link. I'm not sure if the link is out there. My interns are working on the website, so we'll be updating that. And I look forward to us being able to join in different ways. So let's open with Mother Teresa's recipe for peace. People are often unreasonable, illogical, and self centered. Forgive them anyway. And remember, that's ourselves too. We can be illogical, self centered, unreasonable. But we actually have to forgive ourselves first, because then only you have to love yourself first. You have to be kind to yourself first. You have to be courageous. All these things you have to do to you first in order to be able to do it to someone else. So I hope everyone's reading Mother Teresa's recipe for peace, all 64 days of the season of nonviolence. We're in day 28 of the season of nonviolence. We're in day 20 6 of Black History Month, and I think we're in day 13 of 40 days of Lent. So, people are often unreasonable, illogical, and self centered. Forgive them anyway. If you are kind, people may accuse you of selfish, ulterior motives. Be kind anyway. If you are successful, you will win some false friends and some true enemies. Succeed anyway. If you are honest and frank, people may cheat you. Be honest and frank anyway. What you spend years building, someone could destroy overnight. Build anyway. That's what touches my heart. My family, I feel like that. Building one, and it could be torn down with lies and scandals, and it's funny how people will believe less rather than more. Don't have the conversation, won't have the courage. So Mother Teresa knew what was going on. She's out here in this world doing it, so we just have to do it anyway. If you find serenity and happiness, others may be jealous. Be happy anyway. I didn't know what jealousy was. I really didn't. I remember going on my college campus and feeling some kind of way. And it was people just can envy you and not even know you. And it doesn't make any sense. That's really a waste of time. So be happy anyway. The good you do today, people will often forget tomorrow. I don't even know how you can forget when somebody gives you a meal or opens a door for you or whatever. All those things are God things anyway. Anything that we do that has love in it, that has kindness in it, that has success in it, that has forgiveness in it, those are God things. If they're less than that, it's our ego. We're doing it. So the good you do today, people will often forget tomorrow. Do good anyway. Give the world the best you have, and it may never be enough. Give the world the best you got anyway. You see, in the final analysis, it's between you and God. It was never between you and them anyway. So, with that said, I'm not sure where Avis is. She checked on us last week and I told her we weren't having it. So, we don't have anyone on Zoom right now, but I'm going to be recording something that I wrote during last week since I got to take the week off. I'm writing again, so it feels really good. One of the things that I wanted to talk about was a friend of mine. He came from Alabama. He's actually originally from Atlanta. He was born at Emory University and he turned 66 years old today. And he's a brother friend. I've known him for over 20 years now. And he decided to come to Atlanta and spend his 66th birthday with me. And with that, we ended up going to his parents' grave And we went to one cemetery yesterday. His birthday was actually today, so we went to another cemetery today because it was a like a friend mother to him. And yesterday, the he took me around his neighborhood, and his parents aren't very far from there. And the cemetery that they're buried in had like twinkling lights, and it felt like they were having a party out there. I thought about the movie Coco, where, death is not the end and it's really celebrated. And as we remember anyone that we love, it's like that. And then where we went today was a little more pristine or stoic. And they didn't have the lights out there that twinkle. And there are codes, I guess, for a certain cemetery versus others. So when we were talking today, we said we want to be in the party section of life. So I hope everyone who likes to be happy, who likes to be kind, and there's peaceful people that just kind of snap their fingers, stump their feet, or just kind of rock and sway in their chairs, and then you have those that don't live at all. So how we're living on planet Earth, I think we take it with us with what that adventure did. So thank you, brother, for that. He treated it like it was my birthday too, although we were treating each other. That's what mutual friendships are. I thought I was going to do this and do that and do that. And he's like, no, this is a German birthday, so I'm treating too. So we had a really good time. And with that said, thinking of German birthdays, him being 66 years old, I'm being 64 years old, growing up in the 60s, that was during desegregation. I was the first Black in a classroom, and people were getting hanged, and you couldn't speak to white people. And me and my brother friend was hanging out anywhere we wanted to go. So as we see the world one way, the glass half empty. When I'm in relationship like this, I see the glass half full. And it's all about how we look at things and how life presents itself to us. So it made me think about the Holocaust. It made me think about slavery. It made me think about the common day thing that is what we call trafficking today. And there's always some kind of way that people want to have bondage. And having bondage is not freedom. So for me to have a friend like this in today's environment, um, I love the idea that we have made strides in the world, that we can come together, black and white, gay, straight, northern, southerners, all over the country, that we are just able to during the season of nonviolence, not be violent against yourself so you won't be violent against someone else. And that really takes work. That's an everyday thing. You don't eat once and for all. You have to always stay attuned into being a proactive person. So, with that said, I want to give you the 7 habits again, because either we act from abundance, which is love, that's everything. Like the Beatles said, love is all you need, or we act from lack. And when we act from lack, that's when we get slavery mentality, that you got to enslave people. Well, Holocaust, trafficking. One of the things my brother shared with me is like one of the things that being a Bostonian, originally, I've been a lot of places. I've been Atlanta the longest. We realized, he said, how long you been in Atlanta? I've been in Atlanta 30 years. And he's been in Atlanta in this area for 60 years. He now lives in Alabama, so he's been there for 6 years, but most of his life was right here in Georgia. So as we look at the fact that we can come together, um, that's an abundant act. If you can't come together, it's a lack act, because there's only one mind. We have all these different individuals that expresses that one power, or what we want to call it. And the 7 habits would be proactive. To me, that's, whatever is bothering us, whatever is here. This is a stimulus, and what our response is. So there's something that's bothering us, and how we respond to it. We can respond to it like this, or we can make a space. And when we put habit 2 in there, that's begin with the end in mind, which is prayer, affirmations, carpe diem, seize the day is mine. And as we decide what we're going to begin with the end in mind is, then we have to act from beginning with the end in mind. And that is where we get the Harriet Tubmans, the MLKs, and we're celebrating Black History Month. Each of you are making history. We're all making headway into our own lives, because one, there's nobody like you. There's nobody who's been on the earth like you. There will never be anybody like you. So the lessons we're learning are based on our private victories, whether we're proactive, beginning with the end in mind and putting first things first. And we can do that. We're an independent person. We know we're relying on a source bigger than we are. We're not doing it. Ego's not in the way. So then you can join forces with others that egos aren't in the way, and you can have public victories, which is think win-win. That's not think win-lose. That's not lose-lose. That's not lose-win. If these are win-win, either win-win or no deal. So win-win, no deal allows you to seek first to understand, then to be understood. We gotta, that's what respect is. So habit 2 is really the respect part. We're giving it to the higher power. So when we're interacting with someone else, both of us have to have given it over to an idea that's going to let us all hear what the other has to say, but not necessarily agree with it, and come up with an understanding. With all thy getting, it says get understanding. So seek first to understand, then to be understood. It's a two-way street. It's mutual. If it can't be two-way, it's not mutual, and we don't have a private victory between someone. Then synergize. We saw that with the Super Bowl. One team won and one team lost. It looked like on the scoreboard, but really they both won. One took home the trophy, but they were both made it to the Super Bowl. They made it a ton of money. They had fans playing. It was synergy is synergy. Family is synergy. Teams are synergy. Corporations are synergy. Or they can be malfunctioning and dysfunctioning. Synergy is functioning. And then sharpen the saw is really the opportunity to take care of yourself mentally, physically, and social emotionally. So when mental, physically, and spiritually is on you, that's your body, but social emotionally are the people that you hang with. And so birds of a feather, please buy your copy. But birds of a feather, as we are growing and getting into a series, our college campuses that I've been speaking on, we're calling it the company we keep. So I want to read accepting responsibility, because if we don't decide how we're going to be, the company we keep will be varied. When we blame and accuse others, we are reactive. So this speaks to habit 1, being proactive. When we focus on the weakness of other people, we get so involved in their disturbing behavior that we forfeit our power to think, feel, and act in our own best interests. On the other hand, by exercising proactivity, we don't let others' weaknesses drive our decisions. In spite of others' actions and dispositions, we make choices according to our values, our purpose, our vision. And you have to know what that is. Do you want to be free, or do you want to be entwined in somebody else's ideas or in the system? We've got systems out there that are built to lock us up and keep us enslaved, be it in our minds or in actual prison. So let's not imprison ourselves. We want to set ourselves free, and we want to begin with the end in mind. So one of the new things I have in mind, I think I told you I've been reading a lot of things. I sold Mary Kay a little because I wore it, but my real business that I sold was Mary C. Crowley's product, which is they call it Celebrating Home now. It was home interiors before. But one of the things that caught my eye on this book, I'm going to show you here and on Zoom, is that over 2 million copies were sold of a book. So that's my new begin with the end in mind. I want to sell over 2 million copies of Birds of a Feather. And as I get that idea, I want everybody to plant their ideas out there. The last 2 Sundays, since I was off last Sunday and had a college week, and I think I'll talk to that just briefly. But because I went to a United Methodist college, Claflin University, my upbringing had Methodist in it, so that's the school I ended up going to. It wasn't my choice, but I graduated and everything. So having gone on Clark's campus the week of what the Love Month, February 14th. What is that date? Valentine's Day. So on Valentine's Day, I actually went to Emory, which is where my brother friend was born, Emory University. But I went to the college campus and we transcribed Frederick Douglass's work. So on Tuesday, I was speaking with Clark Atlanta University, and I spoke to their spirituality class. We talked about the 12 powers, and that's the company you keep in your head and in your soul and who you're around. And then I went to Clark to deliver books. Quite a few books were sold. So that was a really good adventure. Made me think about my own school, which was Claflin University. Call them, make sure they know Birds of a Feather is out there. They've got an alumni that's an author, probably more alumni that are an author. I'm sure there's quite a few of us. And there's some wonderful news that'll be coming that way from my school. So when we begin with the end in mind, we are the writers, we are the creators. You are the author of your own life. So what are you writing? What are you scripting? What do you want? You know that Thomas Edison made mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. Harriet Tubman, she was enslaved. Frederick Douglass was enslaved. I mean, everybody has their thing that they're getting through. But if you do this with habitual healthiness, and it's through affirmations, prayer, higher power, something that guides you, then you will always lead your way out. There's always a way out. So the people that are joining me, I have a special treat tonight. I wrote A Cardinal Comes. I've always liked cardinals, and I've been gathering them for a long time because of a story that's in my life, because I want to write my next book, The Noise from My Other Life. That's going to be kind of an invitation only, because I want to do it in an interview style with other people joining in on my story and not just be my story. And so we're going to start with my interns. We'll figure out a way to get people signed up for that who want to join, and we're going to have to sign a confidentiality agreement for that, because it'll be digging deep inside. So as we close out with you, I want to close out with Mary C. Crowley, and anybody who wants to join Zoom, reach out and let me know, and I will add you there. So on February 26th, let's see. She says she likes the Bible, and the Bible is one of the books I like too. For God is not the author of confusion, but of peace, as in all churches of the saints. And that's 1 Corinthians 14:33. And she says, as we read our Bibles, the Holy Spirit teaches us that things are of God. He was promised, or you can say law for those that have a problem with the word. I mean, language is different all over the world. He was promised as the guide who would lead us unto the truth. Sometimes he pours so much out to us that every page seems to come alive. He prepares our hearts and our minds so that we can understand the written word. In addition, the Holy Spirit, or that energy that's out there that really knows what it's doing, makes intercessions for us. It leads us through our daily circumstances and protects us from our adversities, which they call the devil. In First John, I didn't read First John, but you can go back and read it. 14, chapter 26 verse. It says that he bears witness to our spirit. Indeed, we are children of God. So, of law, natural laws, fundamental truths. You, Atlanta is warm today. And speaking of natural laws and fundamental truths, whatever name you want to call it, the season is starting to bloom because it was so warm. And the flowers just automatically do what they're supposed to do. And I believe that we as human beings really do what we're supposed to do automatically if we listen to that power that's bigger than us. So let's naturally be out here. You don't have to sit down anywhere and figure it out. Just plug in right now to that power. Go out to myhappyacademy.org and read our credo every day, which is Mother Teresa's recipe for peace, because you're in this journey on your own. We only have 64 days that leads up to April 4th, the MLK assassination date. Again, we're in Lent, and we are in the final days of Black History Month. And next month is Women's History Month. This is the last week for love. Next month in Happy Academy, we will be talking about understanding, which is habit 5, seek first understand, then to be understood. So with all thy getting, get understanding is what we will focus on. And I look forward to seeing you in a week. Thank you and contribute. Please donate to Happy Academy. Keep our virtual campus doors open until we get an actual campus and get to support children that are hospitalized with a copy of the book and in the foster care system so I can get those healthy habits out there. Have a great week. Hey, family.
Hey, baby doll.
How you doing?
I'm well. Sorry I came late.
That's fine. I'm glad you came. I even said, I'm like, I don't see Avis. Avis was checking in last week. I don't see her. And then my cousin's on. Hi, cousin.
Hey, Mr. Edward.
He's on mute. You're on mute, cousin.
Mhm.
Okay, well, while he's on mute, girl, I think I have the beginning of my next book.
I love it.
And I want to read it to you guys. That's going to be my demonstration. And my prayer is, um, guys, I didn't want to say this out loud on the broadcast either. Oh, this is still recording, so let me stop recording here and
Mhm.
pause this.